The Book of the Damned, by Charles Hoyfort, Chapter 7L. Lizards, said to have fallen on the sidewalks of Montreal, Canada, December 28, 1857. Notes and Queries, Series 8, Volume 6, page 104. In the Scientific American, Volume 3, page 112, a correspondent writes, from South Granville, New York, that, during a heavy shower, July 3, 1860, he heard a peculiar sound at his feet, and looking down, saw a snake lying as if stunned by a fall. It then came to life. Gray snake, about a foot long. These data have any meaning or lack of meaning or degree of damnation you please. But, in the matter of the fall that occurred at Memphis, Tennessee, occur some strong significances. Our quasi-reasoning upon this subject applies to all segregations so far considered. Monthly Weather Review, January 15, 1877. That, in Memphis, Tennessee, January 15, 1877, rather strictly localized, or in a space of 2 blocks, and after a violent storm in which rain fell in torrents, snakes were found. They were crawling on sidewalks, in yards, and in streets, and in masses, but none were found on roofs or any elevation above ground, and none were seen to fall. If you prefer to believe that the snakes had always been there, or had been upon the ground in the first place, and that it was only that something occurred to call special attention to them in the streets of Memphis, January 15, 1877, why, that's sensible. That's the common sense that has been against us from the first. It is not said whether the snakes were of a known species or not, but that when first seen, they were of a dark brown, almost black. Black snakes, I suppose. If we accept that these snakes did fall, even though not seen to fall by all the persons who were out sightseeing in the violent storm, and had not been in the streets crawling loose or in thick tangled masses, in the first place. If we try to accept that these snakes had been raised from some other part of this earth's surface in the whirlwind. If we try to accept that a whirlwind could segregate them, we accept the segregation of other objects raised in that whirlwind. Then, near the point of origin, there would have been a fall of heavier objects that had been snatched up with the snakes, stones, fence rails, limbs of trees. Say that the snakes occupied the next gradation, and would be next to fall. Still farther would there have been separate falls of lightest objects, leaves, twigs, tufts of grass. In the Monthly Weather Review there is no mention of other falls said to have occurred anywhere in January 1877. Again, ours is the objection against such selectiveness by a whirlwind. Conceivably a whirlwind could scoop out a den of hibernating snakes, with stones and earth and an infinitude of other debris, snatching up dozens of snakes. I don't know how many to a den, hundreds maybe, but, according to the account of this occurrence in the New York Times, there were thousands of them, alive, from 1 foot to 18 inches in length. The Scientific American, Volume 36, page 86, records the fall, and says that there were thousands of them. The usual whirlwind explanation is given, but in what locality snakes exist in such abundance is yet a mystery. This matter of enormousness of numbers suggests to me something of a migratory nature, but that snakes in the United States do not migrate in the month of January, if ever.